This is a Hot Pie Media original.
This is getting a lot of play. I'm going to try to find a way to be nice about this because I don't know there's any reason to be mean-spirited. Man, it's goofy, though. It's just, you know what, as an Austinite, and I know this bothers a lot of people, I know the reaction. Oh, do you old Austinites ever stop complaining about everyone else? I get that. I understand. But it does get a little frustrating. Okay, very frustrating. When we hear people try to pretend they know what they're talking about, and you really don't. You've been here like a week and a half, and you got this all figured out. Ooh, this place is so weird and cool, and like, shut up already. So yeah, I take it all back. I'm going to be rude and mean. So I'm reading this. I think I've read it twice. Because I read it twice to try to make myself nicer. Because she seems very nice. I don't know why it's published. I don't know why it's getting a lot of play. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know where she went. But I'm just someday I feel like saying, listen, if you want to come and you want to write about Austin, you want to, I can sell you on the cool parts. I can sell you on the not so cool parts. And a funny thing about Austin for people that visit, particularly from the East Coast, which is a bigger deal now, right? I mean, I could be at the park with the kids, and a few years ago, everybody would have been from Northern California. I mean, everybody you meet. They all say the same thing. I've never met anyone from Austin. Yeah, I know. Now you run into, it's the majority of people from the East Coast. Which is fine. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, this is a booming economy. It's a great place to be. But the funny thing is when you talk to people, they would say, "Gosh, there's not as many galleries here as there are in a lot of places." The sort of the built-in tourist things. Austin is not that. Austin is really not necessarily a great place to visit. Like I can go to New York and go to art galleries for 3 straight days. You don't come and go to art galleries for 3 days in Austin. It's a great place to live. But it doesn't have what a lot of other cities do have. But I don't know how anybody says, I'm going to write about visiting Austin, and somehow they end up going, and I'm going to write about Waco too. What the hell are you doing? How does that happen? Please come talk to me. No, I'm not going to talk to you. But if you tried, I would say, I'm sorry, you came here to write about Austin and then you thought you were going to write about Waco and you've compared the two favorably. I've got a problem with you. You might go and say, I'm traveling from New York to write about Austin, but I thought I'd write about this place called Waco. Oh my gosh, what a horrible place that is. That's what you would do. You don't come and say, I'm writing about Austin and Waco. But she did. I know. Be nice, Jeff. She seems very pleasant to me. But there's no one in their right mind has anything favorable to say about Waco. No one in their right mind goes there unless they're forced there. You don't travel to Austin to get in a car, to go up I-35 and go, oh, I can't wait to see this place. Who the hell says that? If she said to me, oh, yeah, it's nice talking to you over a cup of coffee. You know what? My next story is going to be on Waco. I'd say, you're doing what? Are you doing something to killers? Oh, you're writing about killing other people? Oh, you're writing about fast food. Yeah, you ought to go to Waco. That's it. There's nothing else. No one drives up I-35 to write stories about Waco. She did. I've lived in New York for 3 years and in New England for the majority of my life before that. This is like, now this story is trending a lot. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's out of anger, confusion. I'm a little concerned. People are reading this going, ooh, I can't wait to go to Waco. I think this is a terrible thing to do. I'm going to have to now write, don't listen to her. Stay the hell away from that horrible place. All right, so she writes, this very pleasant person who takes pictures of herself. Looks like every other tourist. Hipster on a scooter is what I like to say. Another hipster on a scooter. During my trip, I spent the majority of my time in Austin. I was surprised that despite it being a major city like New York, there were big differences between the two in terms of their culture, food scenes, and the way of life. I spent 5 days checking out Austin's local food spot, touring apartments, and getting to know the city as well as I could. I also spent 2 days in Waco. Wait, why? Wait, what? What a transition. You act as if Waco is like a neighborhood in Austin. Lady, nobody goes there unless they're going to get killed. It's only a place for psycho killers. I spent 2 days in Waco, a much smaller city with a small town feel. Waco is 2 hours north of Austin and has been made even more famous by the HGTV show Fixer Upper. No, it's famous because of fast food and crime. That's it. I feel like this is like one of my kids' papers or something. Texas is one of the largest states, so visiting 2 cities over a week definitely isn't enough time to get a feel for Texan culture. However, there were a few things I noticed during my time in Austin and Waco that I thought were quite different from New York. You know what? Listen, as an old Austinite, I can appreciate it when somebody says, just shut up, you old Austinites. Let it go. Move on. Enough already. But the minute you start lumping us in with Waco, we've got problems. Okay? That's not... We're going to push back. Somebody who's lived here a week and a half ought to push back. Somebody who lives in Waco, who's begging to save their own life and get out of there, would push back and say, lady, you're crazy. You can't lump the two together. Nobody does that. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce, now in all 50 states and several retail outlets as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to let this social media rock star chef walk us through 4 different sauces, and then I'll taste, and we'll tell everyone why they should buy. You can give the science behind these, and then I'll make the simple recommendation. Go to atxhotsauce.com. All right,
I don't think anybody's heard the website.
Yeah, I know.
By you, Jeff,
I've never heard that.
It is atxhotsauce.com.
I'll say
I got that one right.
45 times, atxhotsauce.com. So let's do it.
I brought 4 flavors here, and we're going to test your palate today. Okay. And I only brought 4 because I didn't think you could handle 5 or 6.
Yes,
probably a smart move. Yeah. And so the first one we're going to try here, it's called Beet Heat. And just like the name implies, it has beets in it. It's made with red Fresno peppers. Red Fresnos are red peppers that are they're hotter than a jalapeno and a little bit less than a serrano. So not super hot here, just a lot of really good flavor. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to move up the chain.
Okay. I've had the Beet Heat, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to try it though.
It goes well with a cab. All right, Jeff's savoring Beet Heat.
I'll even do it with you, so that should be all right. Now remember, it is hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's hot sauce. Trust me, man.
Wait, is that one hot to you?
No. A little.
Yeah. The great thing with the fermentation process is you get a bunch of the flavor right up front.
Yeah.
And then the heat comes, but then it dissipates pretty quickly, especially with the red Fresnos. You know, this is not a very spicy one, but it is a very tasty one. Goes on great on sandwiches.
Beet Heat.
Beet Heat. B-E-E-T. Heat.
All right. Go to atxhotsauce.com.
That's right.
You can't lump the two together. Nobody does that. I could tolerate Temple before lumping in Waco. I am used to taking the subway to get around New York City, but Austin locals appear to mainly rely on cars. You don't say. Wow, you're good. Man, hope you get a raise. But Austin locals appear. What do you mean appear? Either we're in a car or we're not in a car. She acts like she's writing about the Jetsons. Austin locals appear to mainly rely on cars and scooters to get from place to place. In New York, I mainly get around by walking or taking the subway. However, when I arrived in Austin sans car, I realized I would mainly have to rely on Uber to travel around the city. Austin is a city of major highways, so having a car is practically a must. No, that's not true at all. It's not a city of major highways. There's kind of one. I got one. Like what is Cesar Chavez a highway to you? What are you talking about? I'm afraid she didn't even come here. I'm thinking maybe you just went to Waco. Waco is a major highway. It's an exhaust-filled, cigarette-filled cesspool of fast food and I-35. That's where I think you went. When I arrived in busier areas of Austin, I noticed a lot of people, including corporate professionals, riding around on motorized scooters. Yeah, that's cool. Aren't we cool? Aren't they cool? Got some skinny jeans. I was also surprised by the amount of traffic on the roads in Austin. It took me a while to travel from one end of the city to the other, especially during rush hour. While traveling from my hotel in South Austin to other areas, I noticed that driving can take a while. Good sentence. While I can get from my apartment in Bushwick, Brooklyn to Midtown Manhattan in about half an hour by subway, it could often take me longer to get around Austin by car. The highways can also get very congested. I sat in traffic on more than one occasion during my 5-day trip. Well, that's great writing, third grader. Food trucks are a huge part of the Austin food scene, blah, 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 blah. Food trucks. The closest thing you'll get to nature in New York City is two main parks, Central Park and Prospect Park. An apartment I visited was located right on the edge of the Colorado River, and residents have the opportunity to kayak, walk along the trail, or simply look over the water from their apartments. While I anticipated that a one-bedroom apartment in Austin would be cheaper than similarly sized apartments in New York, I was surprised by just how much larger they were. I toured 4 one-bedroom apartments in desirable parts of Austin during my stay. They cost around $2,000 a month, with one costing as low as $1,728. The apartments had luxury amenities like pools, gyms, and large floor plans, and made me question why I live in New York City. One apartment even had a roof deck that overlooked the entire city. No matter which area I travel to, and then she priced apartments in Waco. So it's $2,000 a month in Austin. It's $240 in Waco. That'd get you 3 bedrooms. I made that up. No matter which area I travel to, I found cute vintage stores and pop-up markets practically at every turn. From eclectic costume stores like Lucy in Disguise. You shop there? Like, what are you dressing up for? Wait. Who told you to go shop there? Are you like a character every day? I think I'm going to need some jeans. I think I'll go to Lucy in Disguise and get a Spider-Man suit. What the hell did you talk to? Who was advising you on this trip? For those that don't know, which is 99% of everyone that listens, it is a famous... you have to go in there around Halloween one time in your life. You have to. I'm not even saying you're going to get anything, but you got to go in there. But you know what you don't do? On a random Tuesday in mid-January, you don't go and get a shirt. I don't know how confused. I'm looking for a medium and a sweater. Oh, those are by the Chewbacca suits. Great. I'm going to leave with a Chewbacca suit. What are you doing? I think they're screwing with you, lady. I think I left the store, and for some reason, people were staring at me when I was dressed like Woody from Toy Story. Let me get on my scooter. Okay. It's an eclectic place. I don't disagree with that. It's just I think you were steered in the wrong direction if you were looking to shop. Despite being Austin being in a red state, I noticed a lot of pride flags and support for Black Lives Matters across the city. Did you find that in Waco? How many pride flags did you find in Waco? Count them up. She went to Waco looking for pride flags. On one strip, she counted 35 pride flags. In 12 miles in Waco, she counted none. 8 Confederate flags, though, along I-35. 8 Confederate flags in one strip center. Right by that 300 different Whataburgers. No pride flags there, lady. Sorry to shock you. Even though Austin is located in a majority Republican state, I did notice some more progressive symbols across the city. This really shouldn't surprise me. After all, Austin is typically regarded as a blue city. And Waco is regarded as what? Let's see. Oh, while Austin was bustling and chock full of things to do and see, Waco definitely has a slower pace. Despite being there during the Magnolia Market, what is this word? Silobration, one of the busiest times of the year, Waco still felt like I was in a small town with a lot of Confederate flags. The article appeared on Insider.com, and it's been shared a lot, and I wish her well, and I hope the Chewbacca suit fits perfectly.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's The Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.